Today, I want to talk about expectations. Our minds build visions to strive for. We want to see a certain thing meet our expectations, to go our way. When that doesn't happen, we get sad. We become sad people. How sad. Sometimes we have a very hard time rebounding, and this can cause us to become sad, become distracted, less focused. Expectations. What do we do with them? As a parent, this has become more pronounced than ever before for me. Being a parent is amazing, but it comes with challenge because it comes with chaotic variability. And things happen, whether small or less small, that punch my expectations in the face. Little ones who have their own expectations, lack of sleep, sickness, blowouts, lack of sleep, general family priorities and duties. Duties. All sorts of things. I've learned that parenting is a game of mindset control, which is true in all of life, but in other areas of life, we can get away with things, buffered by our routines and pleasures. Parenting is a fire that tests me every day to see what I'm made of, and it's such a great and wonderful opportunity and responsibility. But this isn't all about parenting. This is for all of us trying to do things. I'm just using this as an example. I found that the more that I don't rely on my expectations and the more I radically accept reality, the more I thrive. And this is a journey that I'm going on, but there are certain things that help me along the way. They help me guard my mindset when it comes to my expectations. One of those things is choosing to the best of my ability to not have expectations. And what I mean by that is not expecting reality to bend to my preferences. But you might think, what the heck do you do with your mind if you don't have expectations, James? Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. I love this quote. I think it captures the whole issue. See, I'm hoping for the best that this coffee will be delicious, but I'm preparing for the worst. So I try to have goals and a plan, and I strive for that, but I also make room in my mind for undesirable outcomes, whether those are small, daily inconveniences, or whether those are bigger derailments. I try to train the muscle of rolling with the punches and riding the waves. I'm not a Navy SEAL of rolling with the punches and riding with the waves.
The men are subjected to continual calculated harassment by their instructors.
But I try to be better every day. When I'm in the middle of it, it's hard to see how well I'm doing, but that doesn't mean that I'm not doing well, and that doesn't mean that I'm not improving. Even now, I experience a situation that is very relevant to this video. As I'm filming for this video, I have multiple things happen. My camera dies. My mic is on the verge of death, and my daughter wakes up. I go get her, I go downstairs, and we're now downstairs doing breakfast. We're doing breakfast for a while. The other littlest one wakes up, and then we're all downstairs doing breakfast. Would I have preferred that things happen that way? No. I would have preferred that I was able to finish filming this video before I went and did those things. But alas, here we are. Expectations versus reality. Now, were there things that I could have done to mitigate this happening in such a way? Yes, there are multiple things I could have done. I could have charged batteries and prepared a little bit better for this. I could have woken up a bit earlier. So there's always that dynamic going on as well. But anyway, I wanted to use this as a teaching moment. Here's a big circumstance that happened recently. My wife just had her appendix taken out, which was not the plan for that particular Saturday. I did not have emergency surgery on my to-do list, but when my wife woke up in pain, and when I received a phone call while brushing my teeth from my wife, who was upstairs, saying, come upstairs, and then the day progressed into terrible pain, and ultimately an ambulance call, and me arranging a situation for the kids so that they could have a babysitter, getting my parents to drive up from 2 hours away, to her being at the hospital and us doing tests and getting test results, and some confusion about what was going on. It didn't present like normal appendicitis presents. So that was, let's say, off-putting. But when those things started happening, I had room in my mind for unfortunate circumstances like that to happen, and I got to work and started helping her and carrying out a sequence of steps that would get us to where we needed to be. My past experiences...
911, where's your emergency? Hi there. So my wife is pregnant and she is in active labor right now.
You said she's in active labor?
Yeah, we think she's beginning to push at this point. We're not sure we can get her to the hospital in time.
And my paradigm, which allowed for such a derailment to occur on a day that we were supposed to go to Costco, allowed for me to operate, not on my wife's appendix, to be clear. Now, another thing that's a big deal for me on a daily basis is my routine. My routine keeps me balanced. It gives me stamina for the unpredictable. My routine is quite variable, but I try to make it involve some morning alone time, coffee, some focused work, exercise, breaks, time with my Bible, praying, music. And I've learned that for me, chill evenings help me reset for the next day as well. After the kids go to bed, I'm listening to a podcast while I'm taking care of the dishes and taking the dog out and feeding him and such. I'll be totally honest, all of these can be all over the place, but I found that the more locked in I am with those fundamentals, the more healthy I am. Another thing that's helpful for me is to externalize certain things to my devices. And this involves a notes app, a task app, and a calendar app. Depending on which apps I'm obsessively switching between on that given day, sometimes those apps can be combined into one or two apps. And sometimes they're three. But ultimately, if it's all in my head, it's a bad situation. Another big thing for me is motivation. While I think there is a lot to be said for discipline minus motivation.
If you want to wake up early, I got an idea.
Do it! Just do it!
Motivation can certainly help. And I find that the things that I'm watching on a daily basis, those things allow me to feel like I am around motivating people, especially as somebody who works from home. So I try to motivate myself to embrace discipline and discomfort, among other things. And my motivation can go up and down. It can go from hyper-focus down to where am I and what am I doing? But I try to use discipline to level that out as much as possible. I also try to manage my thoughts and my ruminations, and I try to stay locked into action in my mind and in my body. I try to remember that my expectations tripping me up is a phenomenon of the mind, that my mind is reacting to the circumstances I'm in a certain way. And I can choose how my mind reacts to that, or I can discipline my mind to have better reactions or responses. Reaction feels like you're reacting. A response feels more deliberate, like you're responding. You know? With all that said, I struggle with expectations just like the rest of us, but I found that the more I work on my relationship with them daily, the better things are. And whenever I'm feeling pitiful and frustrated, it tends to involve my expectations not matching reality. So I try to radically accept reality, hope for the best, prepare for the worst, roll with the punches, ride the waves. Still working on it, but I hope this helped. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Tell me your thoughts. Bye. Okay. Excellent.